the message is more important than the production. The message is so much more important than the production. What if I just acted as if the message was the most important thing? I'm officially the pastor of the Fourth Church of the Holy Goldfish. It's a joke that keeps on giving, but it really is about taking responsibility for your own spiritual journey. And I thought, I'll just admit to what it is. It's going to be a raggedy podcast, and I'm not going to probably do production and a whole lot of editing. And so there'll be background noise and technical difficulties. But at the core of what my work is about is how do we connect with our heart and with our passions and do the healing work so that we can live differently in a way that feels loving and life embracing. And that's important to me. And that's something I'm passionate about. Like many things that have started in my life, I decided to do a thing called the Holy Goldfish Commentary. It will be a Raggedy Podcast Production. I hope you'll come along the journey. Who knows where it'll take me?
Sometimes it's other people that are instigators in my life. I have friends, some new, some old, but sometimes inspiration from them remind me of things about myself. Well, that happened. I have a friend that sent me a message. It was really a social media video link. There's a funny backstory behind this, and it has to do with my name. I'm a 1970s baby. I have 2 capital letters in my first name. And when I tell people my name, especially in a Spanish-speaking country, they question me. They question whether I understand the question. I do. My name in English and in Spanish is LaRahna. LaRahna if you're south of the equator. When I tell people my name, especially in the South American country that I now live in full time, my name translates simply as the frog. Surely that's not your name. Maybe it's LaRahna. No, it's LaRahna. No, Senora, you don't understand me. I'm asking for your name. And I repeat again, LaRahna. But do you know what that means? I do. It means the frog. Nothing fancy, nothing special, just the frog. And I laugh. In laughing, however, this funny thing allows people to remember my name. I often tell people my mother didn't speak Spanish when she named me. But that funny story allows most people to remember my name, especially in a Spanish-speaking country, because there's not many the frogs that they know. And it was that funny joke, that funny life story that carries with me, that one of my friends listened to a video. And it reminded her, I suppose, of me, and she said, perhaps indeed, your name is fitting. I watched the video. I don't really know all the details about the setting. It seems like it might have been a women's basketball hall of fame or some kind of event like that. And this person, even though I don't recognize who she is, must have been a basketball player. But she talks about a story. It's a fable. It's about 3 frogs. They're in a cave. The cave is deep. And in order for them to get out, they must jump jump high, or figure out a way to be able to get out of this hole up to new heights. And she tells a story that there's 3 of them, and the first one dies trying. And she talks about the people that are at the top of this, I guess, cave or hole, telling them that they can't make it. The second frog as well eventually succumbs and dies. But the third frog continues, and continues, until eventually the frog reaches the top. In spite of all of those people or forces telling it can't, just die. You can't make it out. You can't make it to higher heights. And she talks about this parable. She gets to the end of the story and she says that when the frog finally made it out, and they assessed why this frog had made it out, it was discovered that the frog was deaf. It hadn't listened to all of those things and people telling it what it can and can't do. Mostly what it can't. And I thought about that, and I thought about how appropriate that is as a metaphor for some of the challenges of my life. You know, sometimes people see where you are and what life looks like, and some people even have come and experienced what life feels like with me as I'm plotting a path to the new paradigm, reimagining what the future could be. How should we live? How could we live if we lived from a place of love and healing? If we lived from a place of our passions, our calling, our destinies, our created purposes. But I thought about that, and I thought about how much of life, the chapters before this, felt like those deep holes. Felt like the caverns of hurt, of pain, the places that people tell you there's no escape from. The places that you question whether there's any escape at all. And that is such a metaphor for my life. I'm passionate about healing because I know the depth of where I have been. I know that there's traumas in my life, one chapter or chapters combined, that some people never come back from. They die in those holes, the deep places of life that's painful and dark. They never make it out. They never make it up to the light. I think about some of the healing that I've done. Healing from the deep stuff from way back. Early childhood trauma. A trauma profile that, if you listed it out, would be depressing. Not only to read, let alone to live through. But as I thought about this video clip and the metaphor for my own life, I thought about the things that people said, people that I expected to love me and protect me and nurture me. One of the last things that my own mother said to me before she died was that she couldn't see where my healing had done a bit of good for me. All this work, all this talk, all the energy spent on figuring out how to heal myself, others, the community, humanity. She refused to see that it had done any good in my life. And yet, I knew the evidence said otherwise. But I thought about that, and I thought about the voices in my head. There were so many that said, it's not possible, it can't be done, and you especially can't do it. But I remember some of the voices in my head that fueled me. I'm on a quest for a record player because there's an album that I want to find. There's an album that Stevie Wonder did. And on that album, there's a song called Black Orchid. During one of those times in my life that seemed so dark, it seemed like the bottom of that cage, and in reality, it was the bottom. But I didn't know that the bottom could get deeper, because sometimes life is bad and then life gets worse. But it was during one of those phases of my young life that I remember that song capturing me. I remember laying on the carpet in the family room on the backside of the house with that song playing over and over again. The song was Black Orchid, and it was Stevie Wonder talking about something that felt true, something that felt possible. I remember that song. That song to me said that there is a better way, there is a better love, there is a better existence, and if somebody can believe in it, if somebody might have even experienced at least enough of it to write those words of that song, then maybe, just maybe, it might be true. It's powerful how music can influence us, because aside from all of those things that people said, it was as if that song was stuck. It was as if I could put earphones in and tune out all of the harshness of life. Well, not all of it, but enough of it to survive. And it was words like that, melodies that would come into my mind every now and then, but those melodies that let me remember that someone believes in a better way. And maybe, just maybe, if someone believes in a better way, it might be possible. I listen to that song sometimes so that I can remember what hope feels like. It was that hope, that song and others and other incidents in between, but it was hope. It was hope that I could get out. It was hope that there was somewhere to get out of. And healing has been the reminder that those truths are real. That there is hope, that there is healing, that love can be better, that life can feel better, that life can be better. And this morning, my friend reminded me, sometimes we have to be mindful of the voices that we hear, that we have to become deaf to the things that don't align with what our souls tell us is true. I can't heal. I can't get out of this oppressive state of living, the bondage of life. I really can have freedom, even if others can't see it or can't support you in it or can't encourage you in it, or worse, even if they are the obstacles to your better. This morning, the reminder is, be careful what you listen to. The reminder this morning is sometimes you have to turn a deaf ear to those things that don't resonate truth and hope for you. This morning, the reminder was the story of the frog. How appropriate to be named LaRahna.